There's a mess over here. It is always something going on.
There is always
Something.
something going on. Always, always,
Always.
always. Good morning, everybody.
Mm,
Good
that's what I'm
morning.
talking
Welcome to
about.
265. 265.
265.
What up, Mike? What up?
Oh man. I'm rearing and ready to go today, boys. I don't know about anyone else, but I am rocking and rolling and ready to go.
Um, yeah, I mean, we got some things to talk about today. It
Just a couple of things.
might be somewhat eventful. First of all, I do want to say, Mike, it comes to no surprise to me that your Ohio is in the news again. You know what I'm
What
starting
do
to
we
think
do now?
Ohio is right behind Florida with bizarre news. In Ohio, yesterday it was the police pulled over the intoxicated cheetah.
Yeah.
Well, now today I read that a zebra in Ohio, a pet zebra attacked its owner. A pet zebra in Ohio attacked its owner. What the hell are you doing over there? Why do you have these weird animals? Why don't you just stop?
It's just what we do, okay?
Get a fish like a normal person.
No, we don't want to fish. We just want, we want zebras. Okay.
Zebras and wild, undomesticated exotic cats. And
hey, we had that thing down in Zanesville, that unlicensed zoo or whatever.
yeah,
We got a lot of things going on in Ohio. We're working through some things down here. Okay. Just leave us be. We're trying, okay? We're trying. We're not trying hard, but we're trying. We don't know what we're trying for, but we're trying. We have, we had the most astronauts ever. We sent the most people to space.
The
Most people to the moon,
that,
because they're trying to get the fuck out of Ohio.
Right.
Like, have you seen it around here? There's not much going for us.
I've seen a big train accident over there.
I'm not an Ohio State fan, but that's all like the rest of everyone who lives in Ohio. That's all they have is Ohio State. That's all that they have. Because there's not much else going on here. The Browns suck. The Bengals suck. The Reds suck. The Guardians suck. The Blue Jackets suck. They got Ohio State. They're good until they got to play an SEC school. That's all we got going for us in Ohio.
Mike, did you see this guy? Did you see this guy? And I'm not going to get into too long because we got a lot going on here. But did you see this guy that Brock Lesnar's feuding with on wrestling?
Which guy?
He's a big, huge black guy. And
when I say Osmo huge, or Osmosis,
yes,
him.
Yeah. Is that the biggest guy you've ever seen in your life?
He's one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen.
Like, I've never seen him before, and I'm flipping through last night, and I stopped on wrestling, and there he was. He looked like twice the size of Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is a pretty big dude.
Yeah, he's not a small human. Brock is not a small human, but I like it. I like it when this has that 80s feel of wrestling of the two big guys. They're just gonna beat the hell out of each other. I want to watch that. I want to see what they're gonna do because Brock Lesnar, he's a real athlete. Collegiate champion in wrestling. Made it to practice squad or invited to training camp the NFL. We know that's no joke. So dude's a legit athlete.
I'm looking right now on the message board. And of course,
I haven't made it there yet.
It's in response to the zebra in Ohio. P wrote, I want an owl. I don't think my wife's going to go for it though.
Well, Pete, this is what you talked about yesterday. That's why you have your Thailand money.
Yeah.
You have to tie the Thailand money and the owl money together. So if she doesn't go for the owl, you have your owl, man. You're in the Thailand. You and your owl.
Them owls are creepy. They turn their head the whole way around.
And they just stare at you.
There's they look right into your soul.
Yeah, but that could be like the new movie. Remember they had the movie with the kid stuck in the boat with the tiger?
No.
They could have P in Thailand with an owl.
I missed that one. Good morning, everybody. It is Pi Day 3.14. I don't usually do this. I don't usually do the Mario Day on March 10th. I don't usually do any of those stupid things, but I thought the pie one was somewhat entertaining. So happy Pie Day.
Happy Pie Day. You got me excited. I was all like, pie, give me some food. Give me some
So we got
food.
a couple of things here, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after we got off the air yesterday, some big news. All the news started flowing as it usually does. The moment we tune off, uh, the floodgates open. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, I'm talking about the NFL and its free agency. The first news that I heard of the day was Cam Sutton, of course.
Yeah.
Now it's wild because we were just talking yesterday about how good the defense could be if we would draft a Joe Porter Jr. and add him with the safeties we have and Cam Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very first thing I see as soon as I turn on the television is Cam Sutton goes to the Lions, 3-year deal, $33 million, blah, 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 blah. And I thought this is now we have a bigger issue because now we need two cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Now, for starters, I just want to say, Mike, I did forget all about Levi Wallace. Levi Wallace is still in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's going to stop us from doing anything moving forward. But I'm saying is, let's say we do go get that young guy, Joey Porter Jr., whoever. Now we're in an even better situation, Mike, because the guy that we brought in return, we got from Minnesota. Of course, it's no secret by now. Everybody knows that the Steelers did sign Patrick Peterson to a 2-year deal. He's been in the league 12 years, been a 3-time Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 34 career interceptions. So that makes things a little better in the sense that he is an upgrade. Yes, he's a little bit older than Cam was. However, it's an upgrade. The guy has the veteran leadership. He's been around the league for 11 years, 12 years. And I think he's ready to win, Mike. He played in Arizona for a long time, played his last 2 in Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota did get better over the last few years. However, I think a few things and a few of the comments that he did make, he said he would love to finish his career in a team like the Steelers, such a storied team, blah, blah, blah. But I think, Mike, that this guy just, he's getting to that point in his life where, if this is where he plans on finishing in the next couple of years, he's going to be big on winning. He's going to, like everybody else, he's going to want to go out on top. The only downside I do see between the big three on the Penguins, between Andrew McCutchen and Santana, and between Patrick Peterson, Pittsburgh the North Shore is turning into a geriatric center.
Yeah, but at least for the big three, the Penguins are still producing. And Peterson last year, on paper, had better numbers than Cam Sutton.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's what we're doing here, our teams are going to be the oldest teams in the.
Hey, man, we have a theme and we're sticking to it. We used to be the city of champions. Now we're the Arizona of the North, the Florida of the North.
Yeah.
You come here to retire.
So what do you think, Mike? Tell me give me some of your drop me some knowledge on Patrick Peterson.
I like the move. Cam Sutton, he was our number one corner, but number one corner on this Steeler defense is really not saying a whole lot. Now, I'm not bad-mouthing Cam Sutton's game. He's a good player, but, is it like we lost Rod Woodson in his prime? Like, you go all over any social media, it's acting like Rod Woodson in his prime left for peanuts. This is even Ike Taylor leaving town. Okay, he was not a premier number one corner. We didn't lose a number one corner. We lost our number one corner, but now Patrick Peterson's our number one corner. And now we're hoping you take a rookie in the first or second round. There's a lot of depth in that corner position to where that guy within a year or two is going to be taking over that Cam Sutton number one spot on this team. It's a loss because Sutton knows this defense. He's been called the smartest guy on the field by every coach who's had him here in Pittsburgh. So you kind of lose that, but you're gaining, Patrick Peterson, who you would hope, being the all-pro player that he is, will be able to be that smartest guy on the field too, and then, teach these younger guys that are coming in of, hey, this is what you need to do. Pittsburgh has a reputation for not being able to draft and develop quarterbacks, but yet cornerbacks, but yeah, we just let Cam Sutton go, who was a third round pick who developed into a pretty damn good corner. So I don't know where that narrative comes from. But hey, guess what? Now we have a veteran here who's been there, done that at the highest level. I like to pick, like I said, on paper, they similar stats last year. Now, just let me bear with me as I go through PFF. It's hit or miss, but Peterson 5 picks. Cam Sutton 3 picks. Cam Sutton had 71 targets, allowed 36 catches. Peterson 73 targets, allowed 43 receptions, but he had 2 more picks. Coverage grade, Peterson had an 82.5, Cam Sutton a 70.4. So on paper, this seems like a big upgrade, but to me, I think it's just a little bit of an upgrade. Some are saying it might be just a little bit of a downgrade, but at best or at worst, I think this is a wash.
Mike, here's what it is.
We saved a lot of money.
It was a good move, and I'm going to tell you why. Cam Sutton isn't 22 years old. If he was the young buck like this, it would be a whole different story. The thing is, we got Patrick Peterson on a 2-year deal, 32 years old. You'd expect that he's going to play pretty good football. He's played he had a nice career. Some say a Hall of Fame career at this point. I think that it's a good move. And I think that, like I said, once we upgraded. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any number says. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you upgraded. You have this guy that his 34 career interceptions and, a whole bunch of experience. And the thing was, he played on bad teams too. So, you learn a lot when you play on bad teams. And let's say we draft our corner. Now we have Patrick Peterson. On the other side, we have Levi Wallace, and then you have a rookie, perhaps.
Yeah.
Let's say JPZ, just for the sake of the conversation. Yeah. And then our safeties. I think that it drastically increases the talent level on defense. People go on and on about Cam Sutton. I see nothing better than a little better than average cover guy over the past couple of years. It wasn't like he got burned. It wasn't like there was a lot of problems. But you get this guy who has experience. He knows more what he's looking for. He's, he gets the ball a lot. I like this move, Mike. I like it. And like I said, it's only 2 years. So, I mean, you're not tied in for a long time with him at the age that he is. I think that we could squeeze as much out of this as we can. And it could make our defense really good as far as, and especially in the pass defense. And that's like you had said, I'll get to you in 1 second, Derpy. I see Derpy's coming in on a board. But here's the thing. It is a passing league. So you have to have your corners back there. And this is something that the Steelers hasn't focused on in a long time. The closest thing they did to this was the Joe Hayden move from Cleveland. And I think this is going to be similar. He's going to be similar in the sense he's going to bring that to the Steeler team. We didn't get him young. We got him out of a bunch of bad years. And he came here and he brought his veteran leadership to the to the team, and it helped the defense out greatly. Joe Hayden. I think you're going to get more of that from Patrick Peterson, because he just, he's basically the same player, Mike. And when we lost Joe Hayden, we thought, oh, what are we going to do? This is, this was our big corner. Yeah. This guy we're getting, he's going to replace that nicely. I think that move is going to go seamless. We're going to go back to having a pretty good secondary. And like I said, you get that younger guy, you get that JPs, you're the Gonzalez, or whoever it is that we get, and you start working him in. Mike, I think this was a good move. I shudder to think that at the end of these 2 years, we're going to go, oh crap, what a dumb move. Why did we get involved with this guy? But there is one other concern that I have.
Okay.
And a lot of these threads that I'm reading, Mike, I saw one guy, he goes, and here's the thing, I know, because I do this too. If a Steeler goes somewhere and I'm in a thread and somebody, let's just say somebody went to the Broncos, and these Broncos fans are going on and on about how great the move was. And I'll give you a good example, is Eric Ebron. Yeah. When he left here and he went to Denver, there was people going on, yes, that really upgrades our offense. We have this tight end. And I, as a Steeler fan who just went through the Eric Ebron stage, I said, you know what, he is athletic, but you're not going to get all that you're thinking that you're getting with this guy. Yeah. He is what he is, and I explain it. So a lot of times when I'm going through threads, I do pick up on things like this. And somebody the other day, everyone was going on and on and on about PP here, and somebody says, a Minnesota, this guy comes in, he goes, you know what? I'm a Minnesota fan. He goes, good luck with this one. I'm not sure what that means. Kind of, like I said, there's no sense for him to try to frighten us. Minnesota
Yeah.
is the furthest thing from the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as, teams played. So that one thing right there, just one thing, and it could be just, could have just been bullshit. However, I don't know if there was issues. I don't know if there's problems. I don't know if there was ever anything. But in the 2 years in Minnesota, this fan did come forth and say, I'm from Minnesota. Good luck with this one. So
You know
again,
what?
not quite sure what that is, but it was an observation.
I will gladly take him if he thinks he's a problem. Now, has he lost a step? Yeah. Is he the guy in man coverage he once was? No, but he's still damn good cover corner, and especially like in zone. Pittsburgh, plays more man press instead of zone, but I still trust him out there. For 5 picks last year, he still looks kind of like a ball hawk corner to me. Never heard anything bad about him really in the media about him off the field issues, especially at this point in his career. So I think this is just he had like that playoff game against the Giants, excuse me, wasn't his greatest performance. So maybe he's still bitter about that. But I still trust him. Would I've liked to have kept Cam Sutton? Yeah, but for the price that Cam Sutton's getting, no, and the price of corners going up, it's like quarterback and corners. It's becoming the new thing where you have to get them young, get them on your rookie contract.
Yeah,
that's the hard thing right there. So you have to pick and choose. And essentially, this Peterson deal, it works out to it's more or less going to be a 1-year deal. Because if he, next year, the dead cap space for him next year is only about 2.9 mil, so about 3 million in dead space next year. So works out to like a 1-year deal. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, he's gone. But if he still works out, still has something in the tank, they bring him back next year, and his cap hit is much more manageable, just under $10 million. So, and if you hit on a rookie next year too, and Levi Wallace can turn his career around, bounce back. It's not like he had a terrible year, but he didn't have a great year. So, all in all, where the Steelers secondary was before free agency started and now it's more or less a wash. I personally would have loved to have kept Cam Sutton, but you got it for the price, you got to move on. And
here's the thing about Cam Sutton.
And you're looking at a lot of free agents are getting a lot of money in this first wave.
Mike, the thing about Cam Sutton, I and like a lot of other Steeler fans, there was nothing about him that blew me away. Cam Sutton is somebody that I had to come to terms with and had to say, you know what, he's doing a pretty good job. So he's probably going to be a piece of this secondary for a while. We're going to build, and he's going to be a part of that. Now you take him out and you put in a proven Pro Bowl cornerback who has proven numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little bit better about this, Mike. And here's the thing. Cam was eventually going to want more money. We don't generally dish out a lot of money over at the cornerback position. We just don't. I think that that this was a stepping point for Cam Sutton, and eventually it would have happened. So now what I'm thinking is, as we have a young guy coming in more than likely through the draft, this guy's going to be able to hold that position down for the next year, like you said, or 2 years.
Yeah.
As a Pro Bowler. And I think that we're in better shape. And you get this, you get the young buck coming in, and now you have this veteran who was a Pro Bowler 3 times that he could work with and kind of show him the ropes. I think that we're actually benefiting here. And I think at the end of the day, people are going to realize that too, Mike.
Yeah, I think this shows we are taking a corner either at 17 or 32. You're gonna have to.
Not a doubt in my mind.
It all depends. There's still a lot of free agency left. Orlando Brown Jr. still sitting in there. Do the Steelers try and restructure a bunch of contracts to free up money to go after him? I don't think so, but that would be awesome, because then definitely you're taking a corner at 17. Then you can take, then that frees you up in that second pick at 32. But I think that's a pipe dream. But I was a little disappointed to see Sutton go, just because he was a steady player. You didn't have to worry about him. But I think now with Patrick Peterson, you really don't have to worry about him. And depending on what corner we get, I think we're going to be in good hands. Yeah, because a lot of these corners, they are any of them going to come in and be Sauce Gardner? No, that's like he's a once in a generation corner. That's like getting Rod Woodson or Deion Sanders. Okay, but you're going to get in Witherspoon, Gonzalez, Porter. You're going to get day one starters, solid starters. So if we can get one of those three, I'll be happy. Maybe even like the kid out of Maryland, Deontay Banks. Be happy with him at 17, maybe even at 32. So I one of these first two picks is going to be a corner, and I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And one thing I want to say, like I saw a bunch of stuff on social media is saying that this whatever happened to the Steelers drafting, developing, and re-signing players. Cam Sutton was drafted, developed, and re-signed by the Steelers. He had his second contract. It's very rare a player for the Steelers gets a third contract. And people are boohooing that how we lost Mike Hilton. Well, Cam Sutton was a guy supposed to be replacing him. People are crying that we lost Hargraves. The Steelers have missed on him. Like, no, they knew he was good, but at the time, you had to choose between him, Stephon Tuitt, Cam Hayward, and we already had Tuitt and Hayward signed to big contracts. You weren't going to sign your defensive tackle to another $10 million contract. You weren't going to have $30 million on your defensive line. So this narrative that's getting out there that the Steelers have missed on these players, I'm sorry, that's false. You have to look at the context around why certain players weren't re-signed. Hilton wasn't re-signed because he had Cam Sutton on the cheap. Hargraves wasn't re-signed because he had to pay him or Stephon Tuitt, and Stephon Tuitt was on his career trajectory was matching Cam Hayward's, and no one could have foreseen that Tuitt's brother was going to be murdered and cause him to retire.
Now
there's a couple things I wanted to clarify for
now that you brought everybody down with death.
Well, they brought me down by saying the Steelers have been failing these players, and it's not true. You have to look at the context of why people weren't resigned.
Mike, I think that this upgrades our defense. And here's the thing, our defense was good. Our defense forgot that it was good through the first 7 games of the year last year. However, they remembered that they were good as the season went on. And I think that the defense is going to be good next year because, they kind of have their mind set on it already. They came out of last year. They said, look at what we did to finish the season out. If we could have only done this the whole season. So I think next year they're going to be going into the season with a different mindset, including you add a Patrick Peterson, which we didn't have before. We had a Cam Sutton. Again, if you're sitting in Montana and you're watching football and somebody says Patrick Peterson and somebody says Cam Sutton, you know who Patrick Peterson is. Again, this guy's a veteran. He's good. And, the guy's in amazing shape. I seen a picture, pictures of him, videos of him yesterday. Nobody works out like this guy is what he said. He says nobody in his league works out like me. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people say that, but he's very confident. Again, his numbers look good. He had 5 interceptions last year, which was
he had 5,
the second highest amount that he's had in his career. So at 32 years old, 31 going into 32, he was able to have 5 interceptions, which was more than any Pittsburgh Steelers secondary member had last season. We'll take it. Again, if it's only for 1 season, 2 seasons, with this young buck coming in out of college, more than likely that works out perfect. Omar Khan knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Send Cam Sutton down the road. If he wants to leave, let him leave. Hey, if Detroit could use him, Detroit could be a better team. Let him do that. Mike, I don't think that we failed. I don't think that Khan failed. I don't think the Steelers failed. I think we're only going to be better because of this, because of how things are going to play out. Not at this exact moment, but as things are about to play out, as we draft that Gonzalez, as we draft that Porter, as we groom this player to be one of those other corners, or, one of the 2 corners. And, like I said, we still have Levi Wallace. We have Patrick Peterson now, as you mentioned, Witherspoon. If he gets, so I mean, we have things going. It's not like we're in a position right now. We're not in a position right now. Position where right now we're in, we have to figure out a linebacker. We have to figure out some offensive linemen. And, we get those 2 situations taken care of in the draft. And you know what? There's still plenty of linebackers bouncing around in free agency. A couple of ones that we liked, of course, had made moves already. Tremaine Edmonds, he went to the Bears.
Edmonds went to the Bears. Edwards went to the Bears. It's like,
what's that?
TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds both signed with the Bears.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like the TJ Edwards one, 3 years, 19.5 with only 12 guaranteed. Oh my God, that would have been a good contract for the Steelers. But this Bears team, man, they're not messing around.
These are the linebackers, Mike, that are available. Last known, unless they got picked up at some point, I don't know. There is Bobby Wagner, Levante David, Eric Kendricks, Aziz Al-Shahir, Rashawn Evans, Caden Ellis, Kaiser White, Quan Alexander, and Leaston Vander Esch. Out of these guys, Mike, the two names that I recognize and two that we've talked about in association with coming to the Steelers possibly would be Bobby Wagner and Kaiser White. Those two are still floating around out there. And obviously another big name for somebody else to get excited about would be Devin Bush. He is still in that list as well.
I hope he doesn't come back.
So, I mean, did any of those names excite you, Mike? Or
Kaiser White does. He excites me. He put up some good numbers, some really good numbers last year, like 105 tackles. But he would be the one I would take a look at. Bobby Wagner, come on, guys. You want to talk about a retirement home? You get Bobby Wagner, definitely a retirement home. But I'd take a look at Kaiser White, see if you can.
Bobby Wagner's still pretty damn good.
Yeah,
he's better than Devin Bush.
But that's not saying a whole hell of a lot.
I just let me give you my advanced research on Madden.
Oh God, here we go.
He was a 99, not last year, but you know what I mean. The year before. So I mean, if he was a 99 on Madden, he's good enough for me. No,
Watt wasn't it? But he was like a PFF, which is more or less Madden.
Yeah,
people take it more seriously. He was a 90 overall with a 91 in run defense. What the Steelers needed.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, and just about an 80 grade.
What was Devin Bush?
Oh God.
You don't have to worry about it. But Kaiser White.
Hold on. I want to take a look at this.
Kaiser White is still available. He is somebody that we would like to see. Players are
like Devin Bush was a 58 overall on.
That's what I'm saying. He's a 58. This guy.
Because your White's only like a 60 something according to PFF, but I can't remember. I think he played more outside linebacker in their scheme, but I think he could. I'd like to think he can bunch into the inside.
So here you have. I mean, we kind of started to take care of the cornerback position, so I like that.
Yeah,
we've got the draft a little bit over a month from now. Big issue, not the play of the guy. Patrick Peterson, I'm talking about, not the.
This is my favorite.
Not the character of the guy, but the one thing that has everybody up in arms around here, Mike, is the fact that he wanted to wear number 7,
right?
Which I personally don't care. Everybody that I've talked to or came in contact with, they find it to be a problem. Nobody should ever be allowed to wear 7. Nobody should be allowed to wear the number 7 anytime soon. I don't see a problem with this. He did come back and release a tweet that said, I get it. Number 7's not up for grabs. All love, Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, and it's not like he said, I want to come in and wear number 7.
No.
He said it'd be cool to rock number 7.
Yeah. So calm down, people. If this is the biggest problem with this guy, I'll be fine with that.
Me too.
As Mike said, Patrick Peterson is at 80.7 compared to Cam Sutton 71.6 in the PFF. We'll take a 9-point upgrade.
Yeah. Grain of salt with PFF, grain of salt, but
right. But it gives you an idea. It gives you a general idea.
At worst, it's not like it was a huge swing either way for, losing Sutton, gaining Peterson. It's not like, it's not that huge seismic shift.
Cam Sutton's a good cornerback. Patrick Peterson is a playmaker.
I don't want to sell his game short. He's like that corner on the team.
He's a solid corner. Patrick Peterson is a playmaker. We need playmakers on this team. We haven't had playmakers at cornerback for a while. We did have a playmaker again with Joe Hayden. We get that back, I think, with Patrick Peterson. I'm cool with having another playmaker back there. We like I said, we've had good corners before. We've had guys that was good in coverage before. This guy can cover, and he's a playmaker. I think it's an upgrade.
Yeah. And lost in the shuffle Levi Wallace's year last year. He did also have 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
It's so it wasn't like he was a complete failure last year, like his game completely fell off. I'm willing to give Levi Wallace another year.
Think of this.
You
I
know,
think
we
Levi
still need to
Wallace,
upgrade the secondary. You still need to upgrade.
Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick Peterson, and let's just say Joey Porter. Look at
Mhm.
those four playmakers. These four are playmakers. Levi Wallace, like you said, had 4 interceptions last year. It's no secret that Minka Fitzpatrick is a playmaker. Patrick Peterson is a playmaker, and then you get one of these hot young corners. They're going to want to make plays. I think our defense becomes hot. We become a pretty damn good defense. I think this was an upgrade. I can't in a million years decide how this is a downgrade.
Yeah.
I just don't see it, Mike. At
No.
first I thought, okay, he's going to come in his walker. It's going to be another, here we go with these teams with their senior citizens, and but I think for this
Yeah.
situation, for what it is, it's not a downgrade.
It's not. No, and this is not like, how like the Redskins used to do it when Dan Snyder first bought the team. Let me get out all the guys who have names. He was still playing at damn high level last year and the year before. So I don't think they're done in free agency.
I don't either. I don't either.
Still, like Pittsburgh's usually active in that second, third wave of finding people.
Yeah.
So we're going to see, and it kind of clears up the draft board, but it still doesn't, because they can still go tackle one corner too. They don't, if they lost Sutton and didn't replace him with a corner, 17 was definitely going to be a corner.
Right.
Now
Mike,
it's okay. They can still go tackle and then corner in the second round. It's
let's
a
talk
wide
about some of the
open-
other names that were moving around yesterday.
Yeah.
Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo, who was, he did a fine job everywhere he played. Nothing great, but he's solid. He was, of course, at San Francisco last. He
Yep.
made his way to Vegas, Mike. Jimmy Garoppolo is the new Las Vegas Raiders quarterback. Those guys are ugly. Those guys are dirty. Nobody likes the Raiders. And here comes pretty boy Jimmy G. I don't know. Did this guy fit in with the fan base in Vegas?
And the Vegas fan base, yeah. But now this is back in LA or Oakland, probably not. But replacing Derek Carr and getting Jimmy Garoppolo, that's like opening up your Christmas present on Christmas Day and looking down. It's like, it's the same shirt I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They're the exact same player. They're both overrated. They'll both put up numbers, but they're not going to be the guy to take you to the promised land. They are what they are at this point. They're not that. They're above average quarterbacks in a pass happy league that make them look good.
Then we got Hargrave, of course. He was somebody that we would have liked to have back on our defensive line. He made his way out to San Francisco on a 4-year deal, $80 million.
That defensive line just gets even nastier. And well-deserved Hargrave too, man. He was one of my favorite Steelers when he was here.
Of course, we mentioned Edwards and Edmonds both going to the Bears. The Bears defense is just beefed up after losing. What's the guy they just lost over to Baltimore at the end of the season?
Patrick Queen.
No, the other guy they lost.
Roquan Smith. I'm sorry,
Roquan Smith.
That's the one they traded. Yeah, Patrick Queen was already there.
So I mean, this definitely helps bring. I mean, geez, oh man, Edwards and Edmonds. I mean,
yeah, and they really didn't overspend for those guys. They have a lot of cap space.
Yeah. Another one, Mike. Of course, we talked about yesterday was Jalen Ramsey going to Miami.
Yeah.
Derek Carr going to the Saints. Here's one that I like: Jesse Bates going to the Falcons. I like that. I like that.
I like that. I kind of like what the Falcons are doing. They also picked up Jonnu Smith from New England. That's going to help out because they already have. Oh my God, I already forget his name. They already have a young tight end they took in the first round. The year we took Freiermuth, it's going to help him out immensely. Build a nice little team down there.
The big one, the big booger in the nose that is the NFL, I think, is Aaron Rodgers. Now, this trade is not interesting to me because Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks of the generation, of course. But I think it's more intriguing on the Jets end of this because last year with that mess that they had, this carousel of snot, if you will, these quarterbacks. Now you have a guy that's actually he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So this Jets team last year that built pretty good off the draft, of course, with their receiver, with their cornerback. Now you add somebody who's a pretty good quarterback, not at the height of his career by any means, but this guy still knows how to play football and he knows how to play it at a high level. You add him in there. how much does that, how much? Think about it for a second. Think of the guys. Joe Flacco was in there trying, and the team was doing well. Get the team out there doing well again. Add another draft pick from this year. Add another free agent, and then put Aaron Rodgers behind center. I'm not saying that they're going to win this division. Buffalo's a really good team, but you got to watch out for the Jets at least this coming season.
Yeah, because we've been saying, man, we've been one of the champions of this Jets team. I was saying they just need a quarterback, and you can get Aaron Rodgers.
It's Aaron Rodgers. Well, you like him, you hate him,
but he's still putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
And look, Alan Lazard, his number one receiver last year. It's looking like he's gonna follow him to the Jets too, and you add him to that receiving core already.
And that kid, that rookie, the
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Jets have something cooking. Probably gonna they're gonna end up having to trade that first pick at 13. And that's gonna help Green Bay out a lot too, because they'll have picks 13 and 15. There's a lot of moving parts here, and I just like speaking of the Jets, Sam Darnold goes and signs a 1-year deal with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Now the 49ers have what? Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold.
That's bad.
Cream of the crop right there, boys.
Hey,
two
I look for San Francisco to have another good year.
And Mr. Irrelevant's going to be your starting quarterback. I love it.
Here's another thing, Mike. The AFC East. I'm sorry, the AFC East again with the Jets kind of making this little surge. Mm-hmm. You got Buffalo. They're hungry. Yep. You got the Dolphins. They're stacking their lineup again. Those Patriots. They fall by the wayside one more time. It's great. I love to see it. The Patriots are probably going to be on the bottom, providing that the Jets could hang on, the Miami Dolphins to hang on. But like I said, they both did so good to a certain point last year. You go through another draft, you bring in these free agents. That just makes them that much better. I see New England is coming in fourth next year. I love it. I love it. There's nothing that I love more than seeing the Patriots in dead last.
They lost their number one receiver, Jacoby Myers, goes out to I think where'd he go? I just lost it. They lost Jacoby Myers, their number one receiver from last year. This team's falling apart. He went to the Raiders. Yeah. So
what's funny? What Pete just wrote. Pete goes, I can't believe anybody would want to hang out in Wisconsin as long as Rodgers did. The thing about Rodgers is, I think that's why he went Hollywood. That's why he went to because he probably got to fly to LA and other places all the time to get him out of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. I imagine that's probably why he was so active on the commercial scene, because as P said, what do you do in Wisconsin?
Living in Wisconsin for all those years and getting to, date Olivia Munn for a year or two. That's a fair trade-off. I'd take that.
They got a lot of cheese. Cheese is always good. Mike, we do have to move forward. A couple things. The Tennessee Titans will now. Everybody loves the Houston Oilers uniforms. You remember the Houston Oilers uniform from back in the day?
Yes.
The Tennessee Titans will be wearing the Houston Oilers uniforms for one game this year for a throwback uniform. Mike, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about this. I was a kid that grew up in the 80s, into the 90s. Mm-hmm. You know what? It's going to be exciting for guys like me to see that old Houston Oilers costume out there. That uniform. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I miss the Houston Oilers, man. That stupid fucking oil well in the sun.
Yeah. Warren Moon, the whole team, man.
The run and shoot offense. F that offense.
Yes.
It tore us up, man.
Good times. Those were the worst years of my life as far as the Steelers go. However, I would love to see those uniforms. I'm excited about that. One more thing, we're going to finish up NFL, Mike. We still have so much to talk about, and I just need you to sit back and listen, because if you chime in, I swear to, I just listen. Yes, everybody, it's true. Kenny Pickett is already in the Hall of Fame. Yes, they did as of yesterday. They put the football that he threw in the Raiders game, the touchdown to George Pickens, because no other quarterback in the history of the NFL in their rookie season threw game-winning touchdowns in the last minute of the game in back-to-back games. I dig. And it's obviously tongue-in-cheek, but it's a fun thing to say. Kenny Pickett is in the Hall of Fame. I love it. I'm excited for this year, guys. I'm excited. I think he's going to start proving people wrong. these kids got a lot of fight in him. But Mike, we do have
You
a
want to
lot
talk
of
about
things.
a senior citizen. You want to talk about, might as well draft Stenson Bennett to be his backup, and Hendon Hooker have the 3 oldest quarterbacks in the league on the roster.
There you go. And we do have a lot to get through. So we have, Mike, we have a huge basketball game tonight at 9:10, possibly a little later, because this game is following another game, the Pitt Panthers versus the Mississippi State. I don't even know what Mississippi State's team name is, Mike, but the Pitt Panthers do play them tonight in order to try to win the number 11th seed in the Big Dance. If they do win the number 11th seed, if they do win this game against Mississippi State tonight, they go on to play Iowa State on Friday, which is number 6 in the bracket. Now, if they win that game, as we said yesterday, Mike, then they go on to play Xavier on Sunday. If this team goes on a 3-game winning streak between now and Sunday, we will be sitting in the Sweet 16 at the beginning of next week. It's a lot of ifs. But that is the route we're taking. There's a chance we could possibly play Penn State, which would make this great. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't, but you know what? It's a possibility. I think that would be a lot of fun with Mike and I here on the show. However, this one is in Dayton. They are up in Dayton. If you win, we are on our way down to Greensboro, North Carolina for a game Friday against the number 6 seeded Iowa State. So I'm excited about that, Mike. Couple facts going on about this game. Federico, he's a game time decision. He's nursing an injury since the Georgia Tech game. He played a little bit through Duke. But Georgia Tech, he did hurt the knee. Federico is our true big man. He is a game time decision. Something that I read also before I came on the air, Pitt is a lot better than Mississippi State offensively. But get this, Mississippi State is a lot better than Pitt defensively. So this game is going to be interesting to me. I guess they have that. They play one of them, those clamp down type defenses where they can really keep you in check. Yeah. I think this game is going to be neat. It's going to come down to how well Pitt's able to score on Mississippi State's defense, because again, they just talked about how terrible Mississippi State's offense is, which you got to score points. I like Pitt in this game. I'll be very surprised if they lose. This time tomorrow, we're talking, we should be the number 11 seed getting ready to play Iowa State. Also, Mike, other college basketball news. Now, interesting. If you caught the show yesterday, me and Mike went on a little bit about this North Carolina team and how they opted out of the NIT. Listen to this little nugget of hilariousness. North Carolina is the only school to be preseason and to be number 1 in preseason and not make the big tournament that year. I think that's funny. I'm going to enjoy that, and I wanted to spread the good news to everybody out there about this wonderful university and their wonderful basketball team. They are the only team to be ranked number 1 in preseason that didn't make the tournament.
That's impressive. That is. It is impressive. That's like a fall from grace. Yeah. Jeez.
That should be in the Hall of Shame, not the Hall of Fame. That should be a Hall of Shame. Next to
Kenny Pickett's, football.
But ours is success. Theirs is failure. So that's the Hall of Shame right there.
Well, Kenny Pickett success.
Speaking of Kenny Pickett, Pitt Panthers, they start their spring drills today. The Pitt Panther football team. It won't be long now, guys. We are going to be back to football season. As soon as we knock the rest of the spring out, get through summer, these guys are going to be hitting harder in the summertime. But the boys up at Pitt, they do start their spring drills today. Finally, Mike, we have a hockey game tonight as well. There's a hockey game. The Montreal Canadiens are coming to town, right. Mike. The Canadiens, they're in last place in their division. They're 26, 35, and 6. Of course, the Penguins are 34, 22, and 10 with 78 points. This again is a game that we should be trying to take advantage of, Mike. Take advantage of this game, get a win, and hopefully we could do that, because we have 2 more games coming up against the Rangers at the end of the week. You have one on Thursday, one on Sunday. So we want to take advantage of these games that we should be winning and win them while we can.
Yeah, because you have the the Rangers play the Capitals tonight, and then the Islanders are playing the Kings. So, if the Penguins win and these 2 teams lose, That puts the Pens at 80 points, 4 ahead of the Islanders and only 4 behind the Rangers.
Yeah.
This is a huge game. A huge game. Because, if Penguins lose, Rangers win, Islanders win. That's a huge swing in points right there. So definitely a must-win game. They cannot come out flat. They cannot come out, giving up goals early in periods, late in periods, defensemen not playing scoring situation. Smart situational hockey. Smart start playing now. You start playing playoff hockey right now.
And
treat this game like a playoff game, like a must-win game, and you have to do something against this bad team. You have to win. If you lose this game, it's not the end of the world, but my God, that's not a good sign.
And the Rangers do play the Capitals tonight, 7:00, and the Islanders play the Kings at 10:30. These are 2 games that those teams could potentially lose against those 2 teams. Mike, I like it. I like the way it's looking. We have the hapless Habs. These 2 teams are playing pretty decent. I don't know where the Kings are sitting at. And, and anytime, any way you slice it, the Capitals are always going to be a tough game. So that's going to be a good one with the Rangers. Montreal did lose yesterday. They came off an 8-4 loss to Colorado. So maybe we could kick them when they're down.
Yeah, get that back-to-back loss, man.
Yeah.
Like this is a game like we should score on, man. They're like -60 goal differential. Come on now.
Yeah.
We're slowly creeping up there. We're +7.
Are we?
Yeah. We're rising. When UNC loses, we all win. That kind of hurts, man.
I love it. I love it. Let's just in case anybody.
I've always been like they were always like my adopted team in basketball. It's because of their colors and Pitt sucked at Penn
that's
State
such a
sucked
weird
at
reason.
Yeah, well, and they were popular at the time. They had cool colors and they were popular.
Why wouldn't I Duke? Like Duke too?
No.
How about the Patriots when they were winning all them Super Bowls? You like them?
God no. Because I didn't already. Yeah. Why would I like Duke? Why did I like Mike Krzyzewski?
Just for the record, in case you're just tuning in now, North Carolina is the only school to be number 1 in preseason and miss the tournament. This is the only time it's ever happened in the history of college basketball. Nobody has ever been number 1 in preseason and missed a big tournament. North Carolina did accomplish that this year.
That's up there with Kenny Pickett throwing for 12 yards in the championship game.
Okay. Also,
just trying to get a rise.
Also, the attendance, Mike. Check this out. Over in the XFL, the attendance went up this weekend. It went down first in some games.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, they had 38,310 people for this XFL game last weekend.
Not bad.
I like it. I like it. I like seeing the numbers in this league. Obviously that's one stadium, but as I was mentioning to you, I think we were at the studio for one of the games that was going on, and we had the game on. And the one thing that I'm noticing, the football is getting better. These guys, they're playing now. They're over a month in. So the fans, they're getting more excited. It's a fun thing to do now. It isn't like you're going and watching these second and third ranked players. You're going to watch players that potentially could be back in the league. They were maybe in the league last year, and people are coming back to the XFL, and people are taking it serious. They got a new logo now. It's a black background, and it's just XFL in white. It's really taken form, Mike. It's going to take a few seasons, I think, to really start taking off, and maybe not running into COVID this time to dismantle everything that they've worked to that point. But I do, Mike. You've seen of course, the high ratings in week 1. Everybody wants to see what's going on. Then it went down in week 2. But again, at the end of, at this point, you have St. Louis filling up these stadiums. A couple other of those stadiums were getting pretty packed, Mike. The stadium over in D.C., they get a nice attendance.
They love their game.
They love their defenders. And I would love them too. Again, if that other Washington team was my pro team my whole life, I would be very excited about this if I was a Defender fan.
Beer snake, baby. Beer
snakes, lemons, the whole thing, Mike. But I like it. Whatever game that was on the other day, I pointed out to you, I said, look at that. Look how packed. And, of course, the upper deck wasn't jam-packed. But again, this is an XFL game. It's not the NFL. And they're doing a pretty good job, Mike. They're doing a pretty good job. They just have to keep going, keep playing good football. And like I said, as you go on, I think the guys are going to just get more, they're going to be playing better football. So it's going to be a lot more fun.
Ooh.
The USFL.
Real quick. Oh, I was just throw on Twitter real quick. Mark Aboli is talking up Kazir White as a candidate for the Steelers.
I would love for Kazir White to come here. If Kazir White, Patrick Peterson would be the only two moves we would make in the free agency, I would be fine with that. Unless they do something with the offensive line a little bit more.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the XFL moment. I just, I was checking Twitter real quick and I saw that pop up.
Now, real quick to the board. Yes, I'd root for Duke before UNC. Mike, of course, has to offend half of our listeners who are probably from the Penn State Central Pennsylvania area, the uppity white people. We are not totally against you, uppity white people. We enjoy you and hope that you enjoy the show as well.
Like always, an uppity white guy too,
I know you are,
but I'm sorry, man.
But yes,
I'm middle class to poor, man. I'm the working man.
But you're still uppity. I
just think I'm better than everyone.
You're work uppity. Yeah. You have that. you have that Central Pennsylvania personality. I don't know where the hell you got it at.
It's because I'm awesome. It's that fake confidence, my fake ego makes Texas look like Rhode Island.
But I would love, Mike, if Kazir White would come here. I would love it.
I'd take it. Him.
Where's he at? Where's he at compared to Devin Bush on the PFF?
Yeah, about 10 points higher.
Really?
Bush was like a 58. He was like a 69. Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll take him. Put him next to Miles Jack, and you have Highsmith and Watt. I'll take it.
Maybe find somebody from the defensive line as well, Mike. We
need a big bastard in the middle again.
We need somebody that could blow people off the line. Did you notice one thing about Cam? He's big, he's strong, but boy, he just does not blow off that line.
No, not anymore.
We need somebody that just comes and just hits you in the mouth right off the snap. We need that guy, somebody that's quick, somebody that can hit the gap, somebody that can move around, and is a big, strong guy as well. Cam only fits the category of being the big, strong guy. With Liel, you kind of see a little bit more of the other. We kind of need somebody right in the middle, somebody that's big, strong, and can move around. Is there anybody that's actively, athletic, anybody like that in the free agency, Mike, that we might be interested in?
Not off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't researched nose tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, is Pittsburgh, are they gonna want the traditional Casey Hampton type nose tackle, or they're going to want someone who's like Hargrave and Olu where they can stop the run, but they're more of like a disruptor pass rush type of guy.
Right.
That's why I'm looking at Siaka Ika, that big mountain, that big Samoan right in the middle. I think that's what this defense needs. You need a big Samoan in the middle.
Why has he got to be big? Because he's a Samoan.
I think he's Samoan. I'm throwing my reputation out there saying, I've seen him. He looks Samoan.
All right, I don't. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I was just. Right?
He looks like he'd be hanging out with The Rock and the Usos. Okay.
Man, you're killing it today,
I know,
Mike.
that sounds like I should be at a rally somewhere.
Oh man, I feel dirty now.
I know. So do I.
Oh.
Come on, you saw the movie Necessary Roughness. They had the big offensive lineman was Samoan.
Okay, I get it.
Come on.
Damn you, Mike. Now we have to go build back these bridges today.
I know, right?
Anyway,
hey, I'm covered. I called white people uppity.
Well, they're the worst.
But anyway, trust me, I know them.
The Pirates, they were off yesterday. I called it wrong. I said they played the Orioles yesterday. They're back in action today. They took the day off yesterday. They have the Orioles at 1:05. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website while I continue my aneurysm over here?
TwoDumbYinzers.com. When you go there, trust me, you will not find any manifestos. All you will find are links to YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor, our Facebook page where there are no manifestos, our merchandise store, emails, Twitters, all that fun stuff at 2winzers.com.
You know what? I'm so excited. Like the rest of the day, just keeping an eye on things, waiting to see who makes more moves in the NFL. I can't lie. This has taken over my life. Tonight at 9:10, though, the Panthers do play Mississippi State in the play-in game to see who's the number 11 seed going to go on to play Iowa State on Friday down in Greensboro, North Carolina. So from 12 o'clock till 9 o'clock, I am going to be on top of this NFL thing, Mike. I love seeing the guys move around. I love seeing different faces go different places. I love seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers improve as a team. So I kind of keep my fingers crossed. I would love to see the Kaiser White. I was a big fan of the Tremaine Edmonds idea and the Tremaine Edmonds trade, but since we know that's not going to happen, he made his way to the NFC North. I got my fingers crossed on a couple other guys. And again, we've seen these moves that the teams are making with the free agency. That gives you an idea what we're going to be looking at when it does get to the draft here in a little over a month from now. That kind of, it shapes things up. It kind of gives you an idea a little bit more, because now after free agency and you don't get that guy that you needed, or you don't get that position filled, then you know that this is what you're going after in the draft. If they don't touch the offensive line, we're probably going to be hitting that number 117 spot with an offensive line, which I'm totally fine with that. But again, I think Patrick Peterson, Mike, was a passing grade. There's nothing that I could find in this whole situation except for a couple things. The fact that he is not 22 years old, he's 32. People could say that. Okay, I understand that. I don't think it's going to be a problem. We only have him for 2 years. The guy's in amazing shape. If he could hang on for 2 years and play solid football,
I'll take that.
as did Joe Hayden, I think we're going to be fine. No problems. I think he's a playmaker. He's going to make plays, and in those games that that are we need something to happen. I think as Minka does, as Levi Wallace did, he will come up with the big interception every time now and then again. I like the move, Mike. I like the move.
So do I.
And
he
again,
was a good replacement. Good replacement.
Absolutely. There was nothing about that was terrible. And again, he has about a 10-point advantage over Cam Sutton, the PFF. Again, hey, Detroit, good luck. I hope he does good things for you. And I hope that team finally does well up there. And I think that Patrick Peterson will be the guy to do things, make things a little bit better for our secondary. As Mike said, the website is www.2winzers.com. We are on every day, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The show, as soon as it is, we do it that day, we upload it at 8 o'clock in the evening. So if you want to listen to this show in podcast form, you don't have an opportunity to watch, you just want to listen at the gym, in the car, on your way to work, it will be on Spotify after 8 o'clock this evening. Mike, do you have a little bit of time for a trivia question?
Yes, I do.
All right, so this is going to be Pittsburgh Pirates, but I'm going to give you a choice. You want Pittsburgh Pirates 1997?
Oh, God.
Or do you want Pittsburgh Pirates 2013? And here's the thing. I'm going to be looking for two names for either of the questions.
Let's go 97.
Pittsburgh Pirates 1997.
See how I remember this. Jesus.
All right, here we go. In 1997, the Pittsburgh Pirates they threw for a combined no-hitter in a game against the Houston Astros. I'm looking for the two pitchers that threw the combined no-hitter. Again, in 1997, the Pittsburgh Pirates threw for a combined no-hitter. Mike, in this particular question, I am looking for the two pitchers that threw the combined no-hitter. And go.
I remember this game.
You remember the game?
I remember the game. I remember watching this game, and
it was near the end of the season.
Yes, and two of my favorite pitchers from that time.
I could see the one pitcher.
I know them both, man. The
but
plucky little pitcher, reliever, they're both plucky guys. They fought for like every strike, man. Every strike, every out they fought for.
All right. So there you go. Pencils down. Mike, in 1997, the Pittsburgh Pirates threw a combined no-hitter. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the players that were the two pitchers that threw for the combined no-hitter.
Francisco Cordova and Ricardo Rincon.
Rincon and Cordova. Is that your final answer?
Final answer. Lock that in.
All right, got you locked in.
Lock it in.
It's not official till it makes the sound.
Do you have like the slowest computer around?
No, you're the slowest computer around.
Such a Beavis and Butthead joke.
I don't know. I don't know why it isn't doing it. But anyway, Mike, you said Ricardo Rincon and Francisco Cordova. That is correct. That's correct. They did throw the combined no-hitter in 1997. That was one of my favorite Pirate teams, Mike, because as a young teenager, it was the team in the early 90s. Once that team got dismantled, they were bad for about 6 years. And after that, Mike, was when when they had a decent season. And I really got into that team. I really they missed the playoffs by like 2 games. They finished, I think, just under 500, but the Houston Astros were like just right over 500 that season. Got into this crazy season, and but it didn't happen that way. But that was a lot of fun, Mike. But you're right, Cordova and Rincon were the 2 combined pitchers. Do you have anything for you that you want to say before we take off for today?
Yeah, Siaka Ika is Polynesian.
Okay, there you
correct.
go.
I walked out onto the limb, and that limb was sturdy.
All right, Polynesian. And but hey, for the 2 dumb yinzers, we want to thank you for checking us out. As always, we hope that you can continue to do so. Tonight, 9-10, the Pitt Panthers versus Mississippi State. And can't get Mike.
Some of this Pittsburgh sports stuff, I kind of know some.
It would be a special show if Mike was on it for sure. But yes, Pitt does play Mississippi State tonight at 9:10. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they play the Montreal Canadiens. That is at 7:00. Everybody, you have free agency going on. Don't forget to check that out. We might have some more new guys coming to town. I don't know. But hey, for Mike, Ryan, the 2 dumb yinzers, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See ya.